Okay, we're doing a blog from the car, but not really so much a blog on the go because we're sort of stationary. We got to rehearsal early, so now we're waiting for rehearsal to begin. And I thought we could do a quickie. Have a quickie in the parking lot, as it were.
Yes. CC.
CC.
So today has been a very dramatic type of day.
Yeah, sort of all the way around.
Yeah. Very hectic.
Yeah, and it all started at 9:30 in the morning, which I never like drama in the morning. Like, if there's one thing that'll just set me off for, like, the entire day, it's drama first thing in the morning. Drama first thing in the morning, and then from there it was just a bad day. If you see random children walking by, those are the kids that we teach.
Right. They're annoying.
Sometimes annoying.
Oh my God.
Well, those particularly.
Oh my God.
Do you ever find, well, I'm sure, because I know we've had this discussion.
Yeah.
And those of you that are out there, are a lot of band nerds out there. We're band nerds, it's okay. That there's personality types that adhere to certain parts of the band. Like a pit person is this, and a drummer is that, and a clarinet player is this. And you can look at somebody and immediately know who they are. You know, the clarinet player is always like your sister. Like, they're always like the one that you would always think, oh, that would be, you know, she would be a good sister. Like, you just look at them and you say, oh, I just want to be, like, I don't really want to be their friend because they can sometimes be annoying and whatever. And they're always kind of like a little bit nerdy, the clarinet players. But, which, you know, if you think about the clarinet players in this band, that's who they are. Like, you know, they're kind of like a sister that's kind of like an annoying sister, but, like, you know, you tolerate them because they're your sister, right? Flutes generally tend to be a little airheady, a little, you know, think of the instrument and it's kind of like windy and sort of breathy and sort of airy, and that's kind of what a flute player, I think, tends to be. The drummers just, well, they're drummers. Like, you could just look at somebody and know that they're a drummer. They tend to be the more attractive, well, not necessarily. They're just harder.
Yeah.
They're like,
They're always very loud and assertive and
yeah,
try to act like they're in charge.
yeah. The pit is always the freak. It's kind of where everybody just gets dumped. Like, if you're, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're kind of weird and kind of like, but not athletic weird.
Yeah.
Because if you're athletic weird, you could be in the color guard. But if you don't want to be running around, then they get put in the pit.
Yeah. And usually those are the ones that play like the weird instruments that you can't march with, like the bassoons and stuff. And they tend to be weird, like bass clarinets and things like that.
Yeah. Trumpet players generally obnoxious, unless they're females. If they're
usually more cool and calm and
yeah, a little bit of an attitude, but generally cool and calm. But if you're a male trumpet player, obnoxious.
Lower brass
Tend to be a little cooler. I think the low brass are kind of generally like cool kind of guys. Like,
right. But they're usually sometimes not the most attractive.
No, generally no. But they're generally pretty cool.
Right.
Like, they kind of like just kind of go with the flow and just are kind of there to support you, and, you know, they'll do what you ask, and, you know, they may talk about you behind your back, but they'll kind of do what you ask.
Right.
You know, yeah, I think that there's a definite sort of rhythm to the band nerd, as it were. The color guard is generally, you know, the ones that everybody, the popular ones of the band, are generally the color guard. Yeah, we outshine everybody. We sort of put ourselves out there. We sort of have to. Everyone knows who all the color guard are. Like, I mean, not just because they're in my section, but, you know, I don't know who any of the one in the band is.
Well, I think, too, when I was, like, in college, you know, in the marching band, everyone in the marching band who knew who I was, but I didn't know who they all were.
Right.
I mean, I was also one of two guys in the color guard.
Right.
But they all, and there's 400-member color guard, or marching band, but they all knew who I was. They all still see me today and say hi to me. I'm like, I don't know who you are. I just assumed they were in the marching band now.
Right. And it's the same. I mean, even when I was at Westchester, there was like 9 or 10 guys in the color guard, and they still knew who I was. I was like, I don't know who you are. Why are you talking to me? Like, I don't know who you are. But apparently they knew who I was. I don't know.
I don't talk to strangers.
I don't talk to strangers. We didn't, ooh, parents.
That's the mom.
Ooh,
That's the mom. That lady doesn't want to go on the trip.
ooh, that's the mom.
She's annoying.
She's an annoying mom. Hopefully she won't poke her head in so we can't, like, reveal her. We have to blur out her face. I don't know how to do that.
She doesn't sign the release
Right,
form.
right. You sign your hold harmless agreement there.
And then there's the parents.
And then there's the parents, who, as I was saying to someone else earlier, are often way more difficult to manage than any kid could ever possibly be. Like, I don't know what parents see as, like, I can understand them concerned about their child, but they have a certain amount of ownership that they think they have.
Right. It's funny how parents they'll be the first to, like, come down on their kids and be harder on their kids at home and call them all kinds of names, but don't anyone else dare even think about coming close to it, because then all of a sudden we've turned the tables, and don't you talk to my kid like that, and how come my kid got out of practice late? And they're just ridiculous. They are really ridiculous. Like, of course you should always want to know what your kids are doing and should be concerned about your kids, but just calm your behinds down. They're at the school, they're with trained professionals, employees of the school district. Would you rather them be on the streets causing a ruckus,
Well, and you know
getting
what,
into
that
trouble?
brings me to, like, a whole other point, is, like, lazy parents. I had a kid a couple years ago, marching in the Independent, who's flat out told me that her mom did not want, that she wanted to march, she wanted to be in the color guard, and her mom did not want to bring her to rehearsal. And I said, why? And she goes, well, she just doesn't want to have to get in the car to bring me. And I'm like, so that's a lazy parent. Like, you had a kid. The kid is 15 years old, can't drive.
They're going to be involved in their school's activities.
Right. They're trying to do something good, athletic, involved,
Artsy, right.
not sit on the internet all night, not, whatever, go to the mall. They're trying to do something, and you can't be bothered to drive them the 25, 30 minutes to get there.
Don't be a parent if you're
Right,
not going to do
that's
that.
what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, you signed the paper when you agreed to a kid to come out of you. That you're responsible. You're responsible for that kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, like, if they want to do, now there is limits, okay, I get that. If the kid's doing, like, everything under the sun, and it's just, like, you're tired of running them around, you may say, okay, you can't do one more thing. But this was the only thing the kid was doing. And the parent was just like, no, I don't want you doing it because I don't want to have to drive you there. No, you're a parent. You signed on for that role. You took that job. You have to now accept that. So it just kind of, like, really sort of bothered me immensely that parents just want to be lazy about it. Like, why are you going to have a kid and then be lazy about that kid?
Right, and bitch about everything. So yeah, I think that was sort of our outlook on marching band.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I think
it's getting a little long.
Yeah.
And it's hot. I need to go inside.
All right, well, that's it. We'll post this. Bye.